Yeah, nice. Finally, I'm there. Finally, I'm there. Finally, I'm there. I am finally there. Live from YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I know people are looking for me. Let's see. Let's try see. Let's see what happened here. Shepherd you the right. Ladies and gentlemen, Nas Masambasi Ananai. Can I share this live on my participants? Can't see participants. This is my second live from YouTube account. I know a lot of people have been looking for me use Facebook, but the problem is Facebook. I've been blocked Facebook, and I blog on Facebook for. And this was under blogger way. There is a video on Facebook, and there is a video, and there is a it's an African church that I uploaded on Facebook, and they said I'm banned for 3 days. So I was looking at an alternative method and means of coming live so that we share we have. Saka I ndakamboshandisa this YouTube once when I go live. So let's see what we have today. I know I've got 10 viewers, 11 viewers. People wanofana kujairira kuya live ku YouTube naye. Chikurukura zvirikuitika muZimbabwe. Tichikurukura tichiona kuti chii chiri kutora nzvimbo. What is happening in our country? So I've got 13 viewers here. If you share this probably on your live, on your Facebooks, someone might copy this and upload it on Facebook so that people knows where we are, what we are doing today. Sagargaindi taurire vanhu kuti ndiri live. I'm live from YouTube channel. YouTube channel. The channel, it must work. It must work. We must, as Zimbabweans, know how to around these things. As we have been blocked, I've mentioned this, we've been blocked by YouTube, by Facebook for 3 days, but we cannot stop doing work. Anyway, let's look at what's happening. Let me show Mkoma Chanda. I'm live now. Mkoma Chanda, I'm live now on YouTube. So I'm not sure if people are going to find me where I'm beaming live today, but I'm live from YouTube today as I've been blocked by Facebook for 3 days. So tikajairira mazuva matatu kuya live on YouTube tenge tachipedza tatochipura. We would rather do the YouTube one than live yeku Facebook. So I think the YouTube one very important for us as we fight for our freedom. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do now, but what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, let's try share. Let's try share any information that we have so that people can. Different thing is for people to find us. What on Trikupi, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, not Facebook today. YouTube channel is still working. It works fine, but what it needs is just to tell people where they can find us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about Douglas Mwonzora. This is very important for Zimbabweans to know. I've heard some Zimbabweans saying, Mwonzora, and Madam Kupe now stand by the people of Zimbabwe. They got guys, wake up, wake up. Kupe does not represent anyone in politics. She lost. She's in politics just for money, and she has been handpicked by certain individuals who think they own the part. There are certain individuals who think they own the MDC, and they have handpicked Kupe to be in parliament. Saka maZimbabweans avatane ukangano. Anozwawo kuti Kupe today stood by the people. No. These guys, they just counted how many they are, and then vakarongana kuti ayo iwe opposer 5-1 or 10-1 waka opposer. It doesn't make sense. Vanenge vakuonekwa kunge ivo vari pro people, but these people are not pro people. These are rubbish rejects that Zimbabweans rejected during election. And you see the decisions that they are doing, they're punishing Zimbabweans. These are decisions to punish Zimbabweans for refusing to vote for them during 2018 election. So, ladies and gentlemen, ngatingwarei tisavata nezamumukano. But the moment that we are in trouble, we'll be in trouble. We will definitely be in trouble. So what I'm saying is, ukatarisa kuvota kwacho kwavaita, hakusi kuvota kwekuti vavhotera against the bill, but vakaona kuti aiwa tinongoita kungera opposwa muparliament. Taita ngera opposwa muparliament. Then tobva taita sei rapasa zvaro tobhadharwa totorowa hedu chibanzi. Saka the issue iripo inyaya yemari, issue yechidadi. It's not an issue yekuti maZimbabweans vari kuda, vanhu vamaZimbabweans ari muparliament vakaiswa muparliament kuti vari kuda kuopposa Emmerson Mnangagwa. This is why you see they are praised by the regime. These people are the best opposition so far, not one individual known as Mr. Chamisa, is according to E.D. Mnangagwa. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all what you see. Last time I was talking about reminding Emmerson Mnangagwa that look, Madara, it's not about President Chamisa. But it's about the majority of Zimbabweans who voted Chamisa into parliament, who voted Chamisa as president, and who voted MDC Alliance into parliament. There were 2 MDCs which participated in there. And I think the Supreme Court judgment should have nullified the results, because it's like people believed that they were making right choices, whilst those choices Mwonzora were faked to make sure that they destroy the democratic space in Zimbabwe. As I'm speaking today, democracy, the parliament that is there, it's not parliament made by the people. This is a parliament made by an individual who is earning a living out of your blood, out of your suffering. Mwonzora is making a living out of the people's suffering. So it's high time that the people of Zimbabwe speak. The people of Chad, they spoke. You know, Chadians, they did their country a favor to make sure that one of the worst dictators in our lifetime who can run a country for 30 years. Imagine 36 years. Someone wanted to run a country for 36 years. But the children, they say, no. Who are you? Are you God? Huh? What are you providing that can make you look like a saint? So I've got opinion from a lot of Zimbabweans here. I'm going to read it from my phone. Since I'm using a phone today, I'm live on YouTube. MacBook. So let's see Tajamuka groups. I've got a lot of groups here where people are discussing the matter. Zana Mwonzora and so forth. Can I have a look at are there people commenting or people are not commenting here? Let's see what the people are saying. Send notifications. No notifications. So chats. Participants. Let me see if we've got participants here. No participants at all. We've got 26 people watching, which is not a bad number considering that we have switched from Facebook to WhatsApp to YouTube. Let's see here. What are the comments? Tajamuka group. I've got so many groups here for YouTube, for Facebook. People are saying, Azna 𝗭𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗃. I think I have to exclude myself in many WhatsApp groups. I'm not a fan of apps have 14 messages on one group. Sorry. 𝗭𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗃 has just left Tajamuka, a diaspora group, where they're talking about Chamisa Slem's fake constitutionalists. There goes MDC Alliance President Nelson Chamisa has hailed the parliamentarians who voted against the controversial constitutional amendment bill number 2 in the National Assembly on Tuesday. Tuesday is just yesterday, right? In an apparent dig on his erstwhile colleague Douglas Mwonzora, who Douglas Mwonzora, now self-claimed MDC president, said no true constitutionalist will support the entrenchment of dictatorship. What we have seen in Parliament yesterday, when they supported that Mnangagwa must appoint 7 ministers, Mnangagwa must appoint judges who are beyond 70 years constitutional limit. Quite a lot of things that were given thumbs up by MDCT led by Mwonzora, which made dictatorship God. This is why you see vashumba roshasitare kuvapa vakutonziwo ndo vane masimba akanga akarambwa nevana veZimbabwe ndo vakaita constitution vakaramba masimba iwayo, saka ndo masimba atorwa avadzoserwa navaMwonzora. Some people, they want the link for this YouTube Foundation Trust committed to improving patient and care experiences. YouTube channel. Some people requesting the link to YouTube channel. So let me see if I get the link and give it to vanhu vari kuda kuuya kuzotibatsira kuteerera nekunzwa. Let's see how I can share. Let me share this to Chanda. What is Chanda? Let me share this live. Kunamkoma Chanda. Kunamkoma Chanda. Kunamkoma Chanda. All right, so I got it there. To business. The guy invite one. That's the link to YouTube. We are eating one. timboona kuti tikakanda magroups tingakwanisa kuona vanhu vauye here titeerere. Tiri paYouTube, pane vanhu vari kutaura kuti vanoda kuti joina. Saka let me see, watching from Malawi, Malravi. So I'm trying to invite people to come to YouTube, live stream to YouTube, Yuda. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to invite people. I know one Varuti Chaga, Varuti Shire at the moment, so I'm just posting on groups so that people know we are live from YouTube channel. And we are talking about Douglas Mwonzora not being opposition. Avasi opposition vachose vaMwonzora. Saka musazo nyanyotambura vakomana muchiti hanze vaMwonzora. Avasi opposition. All the events that you saw yesterday, those events have shown us that Mwonzora is not tomtamba mapatsi, tombata mapatsi naye. Ndanakidzwa nhasi zvikanzi mukadzi wokutaura Chamisa kuti hanzi ze baby, chimai chacha chinenge gwite chacha chinonzi Victoria Ruzvidzo. Hanzi Victoria Ruzvidzo akakurira kumarondera. Zita rake hanzi Victoria Ruzvidzo, anonzi Charity Tapfumanei. Ndafara sereke when I heard about it. Kuti mai vaive kuti kuna President Chamisa a boy vamunangagwa mune shamu ine munyere yekumurwa kumutwasora kumupinza muforo. Her true names are Charity Tapfumanei. Hanzi Victoria Ruzvidzo, anonzi Charity Tapfumanei. Hanzi akadzidza kumarondera padombotombo primary school, akazodzidza kuRakodzi aigara pamba pavo paigara painzi panamba 16 muzororo dombotombo. Mai vaiva ndovekufarisa vekutaurira President Chamisa kuti hanzi vamunangagwa mune shamu here nemunyu, murove mwana apinde muforo. Iye ari kuti mwana kumunhu anodya munangagwa, munhu ari more popular than munangagwa. So it shows us that this lady anowarenda all the attacks that she received from Zimbabweans, because iye one zita rekuti Victoria Ruzvidzo harisi zita rake, anonzi Charity Tapfumanei ndo zita rake. Akakurira marondera, akazvarwa akakurira marondera. Akadzidza padombotombo primary school, akazoenda kunonzi kuRakodzi ndoko akadzidza. Pamba pavo panamba 16 muna Zororo kudombotombo, anditi ndo pamba pavo. Saka zvinhu zvinoshamisa kuti ukaona munhu akakura achitambura achidza pana Rukodzi paipai kumarondera, munhu akakura achitotamburawo. Saka kuwana kwaita kamari kekunzi vakazotaura vakuru ava kuti imbomunamai ada kunamiwa mapotholes zvakaoma. Regai ndi-invite regular live. Join me now. Join me now. And utira kuinvita vanhu. Facebook blocked me. Let's tag more people here because I'm blocked for 3 days. So I won't be doing live on Facebook for 3 days. I'll be doing live on YouTube. So let's invite people. Facebook blocked me for 3 days. So I'm inviting people. We want to talk about Douglas Mwonzora. Could all the events that you saw, Mwonzora is not opposition at all. Mwonzora is ZANU-PF, and the people of Zimbabwe have now seen it. When we were telling them that, look, life, join me now, because Facebook blocked me for 3 days. And someone is asking me why I'm blocked, because the poster Africa. Inamai vamwe vanozviti pastor vanga vachiyamwisa mudhara, saka vanga vachitoyamwisa baba obva wabatwa nedzinza woramba wakanamirira pana pastor. Saka these are things that Africans need to know. If we don't post them, if you don't alert them, and if you don't talk about them, the people of Africa vanenge vachiitwa mapenzi nedzimwe nyika. So we need to discuss that. We need to post them on Facebook. And Facebook has become a platform yekuti ndo matinenge tichase chikanda nyaya dzedu idzodzo. But now this Facebook, I understand what Zimbabweans needs, or what Africans need, because this is an American-made paper. Vakutanzi mastandards edu, vachikora mastandards edu. Saka zvakutonetsa kuti tinyatsoshare information. We can't put jokes, we can't put information. Kunze kotatoya live yacho ivo ndikangobvisa hembe panapa ndotoblock. Kunze kwaoneka kuti live paFacebook uchibvisa hembe. Saka let me try to invite many people. Let's share, guys. Let's share. Vawana this link, send it to other participants so that people can come and join us here on YouTube. Ndo nyaya yacho yapo. So let's share. Let's make sure people understand where we are doing zvatiri kuita nhasi. Hatisi kuitira kuFacebook, but nhasi tiri kutandara tiri kuYouTube. At least the number is rising, 65, 66 people. The number is rising. Vanhu vari kutibata. Saka let's keep on sharing. I know we have got potential to reach as many people as we can. We have got potential, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. I'm sharing with other people. YouTube. Eustace Kanyemba. Let's keep sharing, guys. I'm looking at one. So let's keep sharing this. 63 people, we are going down. That means we are not sharing, guys. Let's keep sharing. Let's share Ndakupai, what you call the link. I've given you the link, so what we need to do is keep sharing this. Good one, vatibate, one vaweti kurukure, hard talk politics. Nyaya Mwonzora yanetsa. Mwonzora akaita zvaakaita because of money. Not kuti hanzi vanhu vakamuvhotera, vatsvangirai vakavhotera, vakatora vachamisa vaMwonzora varipo, vakati aiwa vanhu vechidiki veZimbabwe vati the future of this country lies in young generation. Saka vachamisa will be one of the presidents. Havana kupoinda vaMwonzora, asi vachamisa vakanga varipo, vaMwonzora vakanga varipo. Vatsvangirai vakaona zvakakodzera kusiya munhu akaita saChamisa as president weMDC, not munhu akaita saMwonzora. Vaizviona mundara kuti izvi ndo zvichaitika mangwana. Saka ndosaka muri kuona vakaramba kuti Mwonzora kwete, isai vachamisa ipapo. Saka issue iripo, we have got our member of parliament Joanna Mamombo has been detained at Harare female section kuShkrubyo. Hanzi Nafadzai Mahere, spokesperson of MDC Alliance, please say a prayer for Joanna Mamombe. She has fallen gravely ill at Chikurubu, where she has been detained for 45 days. The prison formalities have been completed. She is now en route to a hospital in Harare via ambulance. She is suffering from acute stomach pain. We wish a speed recovery. She has gone through so much. Honorable Mamombe, varwara. Let's hope havana kuisirwa poison. Because ZANU-PF, they are specialists in poisoning people, specialists in killing people. So let's hope our member of parliament, Joanna Mamombe, has been incarcerated for 45 days. Varipo, vararame, vagoendesa nyika mberi. She has been amazing, this girl, I'm telling you. Since I started knowing about this girl, Joanna Mamombe, after she defeated Jesse, mbuya Jesse pavakadefeatwa ndopatakataka kuona kuti vakanga vakaoccupy a very important position, but she was doing nothing. Comes in a youthful leader, Joanna Mamombe, and then we see the effectiveness of Joanna at the moment. So we say, let's pray, ladies and gentlemen, for our member of parliament, Joanna Mamombe, who has fallen ill in prison, and the spokesperson for MDC Alliance, Mahere, varikutaura kuti tinamatire vaMamombe sezvo varwara. Let's hope she was not poisoned, because we all know ZANU-PF are killers, and what they usually do is vanouraya nepoison. We lost one member of parliament, vaitwa vaJongwe muprison. Tikazonzwa kuti hanzi vanenge vakazomwa mapiritsi, tikazonzwa kuti vanenge vakaita sei. Things which were said there can hardly be remand prison. Saka zvokuzonzwa vakazomwa mapiritsi, amene kuti vakanga vamawanepi. ZANU-PF has got an explanation. Kuchad, tukubata-bata, Chadians have done themselves a favor. They have unchained themselves from a dictator with one propellant that went through his empty skull and went through the chest. Probably 2 propellants were enough to free the people of Chad from the oppression, shackles of oppression. Zvikuita kutapira paChad anzi ponakidza wakomana nai amene kuti varikuda kuenda paChad kana varikuda kuona zvikuitika paChad zvichiitika muZimbabwe very soon. Zvinogona kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe nai. And that's why even my jihadists, they've sent a chilling message to Zimbabweans to stay away from our caliphate. We are creating our caliphate. You guys, you want to come and disturb us. Once you've disturbed us, you have invited us to attack you. So we are likely to be seeing attacks as well from the jihadists. Ngatisiyane nezvinhu zvisiri zvedu vakomana. Mozambique takaibatsira kubva kudhara nakudhara. Andi muri kuona tokunamba tiri kubatsira Mozambique is such a big country that by now Zimbabweans must be relying on Mozambique. Not as Mozambique relying on Zimbabwe. Until when? Andiri muri kuona pakaipa andiri pagraft naruza zvakafana zvakanaka tindo mwana wamai. So this bare hands fight rebels that's killed Chad president are near the capital city. So in Chad, the rebels are advancing near the capital city. And we are coming, we overrun you. So there is chance, there is change gonna happen in Chad anytime soon. Because these guys are advancing towards the capital city and they're almost there. And they've sent a chilling message that we gunned down your president and we are towards your capital city. That means Chad soon enjoy the fruits of freedom. As MDC, Maria Capera, if supporters contributed $1 each, Parubuda, how many millions? As MDC, MDC Alliance, which is with a large following. As Dora, Pamun one, MDC Alliance, their part. So, people, ladies and gentlemen, kuvanhu veZimbabwe veMDC who are willing, hanzi ngatiitei dhora nai triple 16 million nhasi chaitoraisa 16 million dollars for the part, hanzi tinoiraisa 16 million dollars for the part tikaita mudeme saka vanhu vari kuZimbabwe muri kuzvinzwa here zviri kutaurwa izvo. Hanzi it says this video is no longer available, guys. I don't know. I'm live. I'm live. Just watch from the channel. Just watch from the channel. Watch from the channel, guys. I am live now. Just watch from the channel. Join me, guys. Join me, guys. YouTube channel 𝗭𝘂 Now we are standard, guys. We are Mwonzora. Hey, Mwonzora. Mugabe akafashitaidzira zvikanzi Mwonzora. So there is an update from Chikrup maximum prison. Harare West member of parliament Joanna Mamombe has been taken out of Chikrup maximum prison by an ambulance in a named hospital in Harare after her health situation reportedly deteriorated. MDC Alliance party spokesperson Fadzaimai updated us. No zviri kuitika hanzi koshumba machingauta vazobuda here ameno kutizoda machingauta vazoburiswa nebheo here dai vatonanga kunotonyatso ameno zvimwe zvacho are unprintable words being spoken by people from groups. I've got WhatsApp groups dzakawandisa where messages are flocking. Ladies and gentlemen, zvitapira wamba chamisa wamba pane machamisa wamba vari kutaura vachiti tikumbirawo link yekwaShepherd saka link yacho inonzi haisi kuita. Guys, just join, come to YouTube 𝗭𝘂 channel, ndo zviri easy because link yandiri kusanzi iri kunzi haisi kushanda here. Mwonzora is 𝗭𝘂. No, now all doubts have been cleared. My doubts have been cleared by the events that occurred yesterday in parliament. Mwonzora Mugabe akadaidzira akati Mwonzora namangwana wake pane zvairukwa ipapo nai. The guy was so comfortable with the 𝗭𝘂 people than MDC tajamuka talk. Live, I'm live, guys. Live, guys. Join me, guys. Join me. YouTube 𝗭𝘂. YouTube 𝗭𝘂 channel. YouTube rising. They are like fluctuating. And your connections is unstable. Please wait while try to reconnect. Something wrong, man. Joining you, brother Yuda. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Let me see if there are any. I don't know why. I can't see why I can. People are not. People are not even commenting. This live must allow people to comment. 90 people have joined us so far. That means the word is spreading. The word is spreading that Yuda is live on Facebook. Taura Douglas Mwonzora. Douglas Mwonzora. Pakaitwa vachamisa president. Mwonzora vakanga varipo nai. But vachangirai vana kutora Mwonzora kuvaita president. What was the reason? Changirai is the one who had made sure that Mwonzora win as Secretary General. And in 2013, or let's say 2014, 2013 structures, with Agabanzi Mwonzora ndo akaitachi Secretary General of the party. So from there, from 2013 or 2014 structures to 2018, Changirai had seen the true colors of Douglas Mwonzora. This is why when it came to choose two presidents, vice presidents, both Changirai could probably have seen that rwendo rwavo rwange rwanga rwakusvika usa vakuru vanoona kana vakuenda kuti guys ini ndapedyo nekuruva pasi. Saka ndoita sei? Vanobva vati aiwa chirega ndisiyeji achatungamirira. Saka pakusiya anotungamirira, instead yekuti vachuze vaMwonzora, vakaona kuti for the past 4 years Mwonzora dzaanga ari secretary general of the party, ndikamuita president, that party will fold. Because vatsvangirai vakaona relationship yave navaMwonzora nana Mangwana, vakatoona kuti uyu munhu ndikamusiyira chigaro ichi unotengesa party. Sezvineiwo vatsvangirai vachifa, vaMwonzora vakamhanya kuda MDC president, zvikaramba vakatraya kuda kupinda neimwe nzira, zvikaramba vakaenda kuGweru Congress, vakati achirega indorumira hamusa secretary general, position yatakati sichavada kuti vavepo, zvikanoramba vakabva vazvamburwa na none other than Charlton Wende. Saka varohwa naCharlton Wende vakatanga kufunga kuti where do I get a lifeline to revive my political career. Saka dzakabva dzabaya ku the weakest MDC part, which was led by 𝗭𝘄𝗄, a breakaway function from the main MDC. 𝗭𝘄 tried to unite with the Douglas Mwonzora, little known that he is uniting with a 𝗵𝘃𝗲. Unodayanga iri cobra zvirinani unoona simudza musoro ichikusvipira, but this one was a 𝗵𝘃𝗲. Inorova yobva yanamira. Animona inokuruma yobva yanamira yosiya mazino. So to 𝗭𝘄, she was played and she lost the plot. It's very unfortunate that the way she was treated, that's the way people didn't want her to be treated. People wanted her to be outclassed in any election, a proper election like the 2018 election where people rejected her. And she went back to parliament through the back door, through Stonyimbi. Pamwe ndoyekuroesa ED yekunamisa mapotholes. Saka ndo yakavadzosera kuparliament yemapotholes, but later on kuti it was for a short period of time. So if you look at Douglas Mwonzora, he calls himself the opposition leader. That is busy helping Mnangagwa to tear up Zimbabwe. Mwonzora calling himself opposition leader, yet he's helping Emmerson Mnangagwa to tear up Zimbabwe constitution, giving the dictator power that will strip citizens of their human rights. So if you look at whatever Mwonzora has done now, he has like elevated a dictator, and he has whipped those hand-picked politicians into parliament to say, look, you must vote like this, you must vote like that, so that they give Mnangagwa the dictatorship powers. You remember yesterday, I spoke about power, politics, and leadership. Those who were there yesterday when I was talking about power, to say what is power, what is leadership, and what is politics. And if you combine the three that I spoke yesterday, then compare those three, kuna Mwonzora munomwisa papi kuti ane power, which means Mwonzora does not hold any power anymore. Hana power anaro, because the people that he is saying are his members of parliament, when those people were voted in parliament, Mwonzora did not participate in that election. So at the moment, he's a non-entity, someone people do not know. They don't know Mwonzora. They know he was a former MDC Secretary General who was defeated in that position by Charlton Wende. He's a cheap political charlatan. This gentleman is simply a cheap political charlatan that is being bought with crumbs on the table. He has potential. He has potential, but he has lost that potential. Breadcrumbs. This one is a useless puppet of ZANU-PF. A ZANU-PF puppet, ladies and gentlemen. It's also Zimbabweans. Let's stand firm. Let's stand against Mwonzora's ideas. Let's stand against ZANU-PF ideas. Because if you look at Remember last time I said this guy is like a blessing to Zimbabweans. He took it upon himself to say, let me put my life on firing line whilst I talk more things, bearing it out so that Zimbabweans must know. Andinoona kutapira kwazvo zvinoita kutapira zvinoita kunakidza zvatiri kutaura panapa. Saka nyaya iripo, ladies and gentlemen, hope watching on, I think yesterday or today, an honorable Job 𝗭𝗋, they went to parliament to court for routine remand. Decides at the magistrate courts, it's today, not yesterday. The sides at the magistrate courts are so pathetic. You can tell that they waited for their cases to be dealt with. Ch cried today, said, look, my heart bled when I saw the guys in the first 3 frames, some walking barefooted without shoes, some in a normal society, it becomes the state's obligation or responsibility to dress the prisoners when they are in custody. Ndakambotaura last time ndikati government provides when someone is in remand prison. The government can only provide when you cannot afford. If you can afford your own clothes, your own food, your own everything, when you are in a remand prison, it is your right to bring those things in. It's not the state's right to look after you. Otherwise, the food that you eat in prison, the clothes that you wear in prison, you must be paying when you are in remand prison. And but the law says a further examination prisoner in remand prison must pay for the food you eat, must pay for the clothes you wear, must pay for the blankets dzanorarira dzanofuga ari in prison. That's what the prison act or the law says about remand prisoners. It must pay for only medication. That's what the law says. Looking at Charlton Wende post dzanyorawo mukoma chale takuraishoko baba mambokadzi Elizabeth dzanyora mukoma chale Charlton Wende shumba yaMwonzora chikara chezano chabva chanyora zvikanzi I have just been to Chigroup maximum prison with the lawyer Jacob Mafume visiting incarcerated MDC alliance cadres Joanna Mamombe, Cecilia Chinembiri and Vongai Tome. Joanna Mamombe is seriously ill and has been seen by a prison nurse who has since called in a doctor to attend to the Harare West Member of Parliament. These brave women have been remanded in custody on spurious charges. They will be appearing at the High Court tomorrow for the bail hearing. We stand in firm solidarity with our imprisoned comrades now. Magandanga, my heroes who are fighting with bare hands. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give support. Let's give a round of applause to Joanna Mamombe. She's one of the bravest women I've ever seen in life. Since I was in Zimbabwe, I've never seen such brave women. Ndikabvunza panapa kuti pana akamboona here mbuya Thokozani Kupe vachivharirwa kana kurohwa. Ndokuva kurohwa kwakatoita imba matakaona vachirohwa ku-HICC. Ndipo munoona ma-state agents. Wake up, Zimbabweans, wake up. This is where you see state agents. Mwakamboti akazongochamisa haana mbosukwa ndikati iwe kurohwa kwakaita chamisa hauna kuona here. If he was a state agent, hapana aizomurwa kuda kumuuraya. Kuzoponeswa hake namai vakazvimirirawo parutivi vakazomhanya vakati ko mwana uyu momuurayire mhosva yaapara ndei. And then, ladies and gentlemen, so looking at the updates, we are just touching zvinhu zvakasiyana-siyana nhasi tichitarisa kuti vaMwonzora i-opposition here kana kuti iZANU-PF pane vachine madoubts here kuti baba ava ndo zano yacho. Ndiri kuda kuziva kuti pachine vari kudhauta here kuti baba ava ndo ZANU-PF yacho. At Angola, Minister of Communications has been sentenced to 14 years imprisonment for 98 million pounds corruption case. Drama as the police embark a night raid on Zimbabwe's former first lady Grace Mugabe for allegedly theft. Akomana, mai Mugabe vapindana nacho naye. Yeah. But a case again that I've seen says the former MDC leader voted no to constitutional amendment bill number 2, and she feels betrayed by her party, now led by Douglas Mwonzora, who whipped his MPs to vote with ZANU-PF. Ladies and gentlemen, a personal doubt, Douglas Mwonzora is pure ZANU-PF. I don't know those MDC can follow Douglas Mwonzora. But a lot of people, a lot of people Mwonzora, guys, munodzoka MDC. Aya my extension ana T was for Changirai, and the president Changirai died. We put the T by MDC to differentiate from MDC that was led by Welshman in 2005. For my elections, I don't patakesa T to differentiate, but apana T. And in the morning, Musa guys, it's your time to come back to MDC. Ukaona pa anengashaya brain ndo want to join us. A lot of people went to ZANU-PF. It's true that we lost members to ZANU-PF, but were they MDC members from the beginning? No. Some of them joined recently and went back to their ZANU-PF political party. Zveta kutapira kwa muri kumatima na nyika maZimbabweans and 𝗭𝘄عني maswera say I'm beaming live from YouTube channel because I've been blocked by Facebook. Nenyaya yekuti ndakaisa video yamwe pastor kuGhana. Ndakanyora ndikati guys mukandishaya pa live kana muZimbabwe ndenge ndiri kuGhana naye ndinoenda kunombobviswa mhepo namai pastor variko vari kuti ukasvika pai uko vakakunamatira mwari makanaka obva wariti zamu obva wakubota ngakokuyamwa ndikati my God Jesus Christ ndikati mukandishaya nendarwa pasi ndendiri kuGhana ndichimbomwana ndichiyamwa vari kuyamwisa vari mumakuru vane ndebvo pepo ndebvo kadai vanenge vachidhonzana naro runda saka rinenge raarunda vamwe vanenge vakuti anenge amapatapata bhozi rinenge rakanwiwa nevana saka unenge wakudhonzana nerunda baba unogona kudhonzana neropa ipapo saka I don't know hanzi unongoona munhu ari kushandirwa namadhamu iwo anenge angonamirira pavari chete kusvika mweya mutsvene kusvika mweya wakashata wabuda maari ozotakanurwa oenda mumwe next hanzi munoita kuyamwa ndikati covid tata akomana munopera necovid wakomana munopera necovid zvakaoma. Yesterday in America again news coming in that police have shot and killed a young lady just before Derek Chauvin was convicted of murdering George Floyd. Murder after murder in America, black people being killed, black people being shot. Last time I was talking about black people being resistant to these white-dominated police forces, particularly in America. I had an incident, two incidents that happened here yesterday but one. And ndakamuka irino zinoko ndikakunoko yakanaka ndiri kubuda ndiona mwana wanga kutomhanya zvikadhedhi pane munhu ari kutenderera pamotikari dzenyu kutendera ari kuda chii ndobva buda unomuona zvikanzi I believe I've got a court order to come and tow your vehicle. Ndikati really zvikanzi ndikati what for? Zvikanzi you didn't pay emission charges in London. Ndikati where are the correspondence? You never sent me anything to say I should pay. They said, no, it's not our fault. We are bailiffs. We've come to tow your vehicle. A 6,000 now worth of a car. They wanted to tow for £500. Why can't you give me time to pay? No. I've got no powers. I've got no time to negotiate. Then I tried to buy him from cramping my vehicle whilst I was looking for money. And this guy became violent. He raised that claim, wanted to hit me with that claim. So I told him that, look, boy, You are a small boy. You are a young man. Young man. If I look at you, if you come showing me that you've got steel balls, unfortunately, I'm a furnace man. I'll melt them. And so this guy felt threatened and called the police. The police came, 8 police officers descended on me. They said, so I was talking to them, the police. I said, why are you here? And one of the policemen snatched my car keys. I said, oh, why are you here? Because he's a white man who has just reported to you that this guy is violent. Then you came, descend on me. When you came, I was standing right here, you descended on me. Then that guy was seated in his car. So if I wanted to beat him, what had stopped me beating him? Threatening me to hammer my head with a cramp. So I could have melted his boss. I told them point blank that he's lucky. This gentleman is lucky. If he had hitten me or if he had beat me with that thing, I was going to melt his steel balls because I'm a furnace man. You understand? So the police doesn't come because it was a black man against a white man. And what they went straight into is to descend on a black man. They never came to understand the situation, but they came to harass me. And I told them, be careful, man. Don't be racial. You came here and you are being racist. You came just to attack or trying to threaten me with arrest on a civil matter. For sure, that was not at all good. But I challenged them. I stood my ground. So I can tell this is England. How about in America? If it was America, I was going to be shot. I was going to be shot for refusing to have my car for the documentation that I've never seen. Someone just popped in to carry my car, to tow my car. You understand? Zvakaoma, Anzi Manicaland, Anzi Mnangagwa's wife exposed. Oh, wow. Good news. Anzi, former Herald editor, 𝗭𝗪 𝗪𝗃 has exposed how the attention seeker 𝗭𝗪 Mnangagwa controls what is published by the Herald. He also disclosed that the majority of Herald are MDC supporters who are only trying to keep their jobs. Ndiye mukomana anonzi 𝗭𝗪 𝗪𝗃. Hanzi zvamunoona zvinonyorwa paHerald zvinobva kuna mai Mnangagwa. Ndovandobvunzwa nai mai Mnangagwa, tonyora zvipi nhasi? But hanzi vakomana vacho variko kuHerald machinja. Andinoona zvikanzi abva andifunga interview Emmerson Mnangagwa, which we were talking about a few days ago, where this lady Ruzvidzo, who went on to interview Mnangagwa, pushed Mnangagwa to expose his violent nature and said, I'm going to wipe this boy into line. That raise a temperature in one worldwide, raise a temperature. The Zimbabweans to the mai vakangaudzwa kunzi uri dafi, uri datya, uri kavumbura varimi, zvakawanda zvakanga zvichitaurika zvichiitika nayo. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what is happening in Zimbabwe at the moment. Zvakutoreva kuti Mwonzora is going to give a thumb up to that bill rekuti maZimbabweans ukangotaura chete kana pasocial media kungonyora wakurwa pasi kuenda kujeri, akomana tichazadzwa kumajeri tisina mhosva dzatakapara naye. Saka ngatiyemurei zvakaitwa kuChad. Chadians unchained themselves with a single propellant. It was enough to free the whole country from a 30-year dictatorship. Hanzi kunenge kwazvakabva vane chidzidzo chakaoma kune vamwe nai. Hanzi tinenge tisingadi kusvika hedu ipapo. Ndo maZimbabweans matauriro ari kuita. Zvikanzi isusu tinenge tisingadi kusvika pakadaro, but ngachive chidzidzo kune vamwe madictators kuti kana mona maramba muchidzvanyirira vanhu vanosvika pakutaura kuti enough is enough. And unopuwa mutobvu nyere inobora, you're empty skull because you are empty. Someone was asking me, what are you implying here, Shepherd? answers came from different people. So I'm going to read what people were saying. One ZANU-PF Nini Campo, a foolish ZANU-PF supporter known as Alex Zenda, typical of the state, the enemies of state. And Shepherd Yuda is a typical enemy of state. That's violence and unwarranted murder. Remind him that we are a sovereign state. Someone is saying Zimbabwe is a sovereign state. So sovereign doesn't mean killing people. On the 1st of August 2018, ZANU-PF government deployed soldiers to kill innocent civilians who were running away. That cannot be a sovereign state. We cannot make laws on our behalf of killing our own brothers. That will make E.D. Mnangagwa a murderer. Here comes Ponela with another comment. He said he easily gets overexcited sometimes. As Yuda, he gets overexcited sometimes. Tendai Sanchez Muzika, Alex Zenda, maybe Arkuti Mondi iyo Zayafa Zichaita Nani Munika Chad. That is from another angle that Tendai Sanchez is looking at the matter that I've posted on Facebook to saying, look, the empty skull has been cracked with one propellant and saved the nation. Now the rebels in Chad, something might be happening in Chad anytime soon. Ladies and gentlemen, William Ponela, he is implying that Chad is now probably on a course to prosperity. We had our own false hope in 2017. Now we are back to factory defaults. Zimbabweans are back to factory defaults of dictatorship. Look what Mwonzora did. Look what the MDC members of parliament who are in parliament did. Wakomana, mukaona munhu in parliament nhasi mukamudzorera muparliament munenge matengesa. Ndakutaurirai. Vanhu vari parliament come 2023 ndikuona pachiitwa geda kwemene kuchema pachabuda misodzi ichabuda ipapa. And then now we are back to factories, factory defaults, factory settings. The constitutional amendments have begun. Tadzokera paya pamugabe paya pekuti mapowers are concentrated on one man. They are creating one center of power. And that not create two center of powers. We want to create one center of power. That means all the powers are being concentrated on Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, similar to Chad situation. Imimi Mazimba msaderera Mazimba naye. Zvikanzi Alex, zvikanzi Mkoma Gerald, Maged, because violence is necessary sometimes. Because Albert Einstein said, if you see injustice being done, and you don't do something to stop that injustice, you are to blame. Don't blame the person who is initiating injustice. But when it's done and you are not taking action, you are the person to blame. Gerald Maged, violence is necessary. And sometimes when we get to the situation where a Zimbabwe National Army is deployed by a president to shoot innocent civilians who are running away, this is where you say violence is sometimes necessary, because the people of Zimbabwe have to fight back. The army has been turned into a terrorist organization. So what do we do to terrorism? We can't just watch whilst people are being butchered, whilst people are being killed on a daily basis. Namkoma Gerald Magedi. As a sudden CD Munjenjema. Where can I get boiled eggs in town? He is delusional. Anyway, but the issue Chad, they have managed to do impossible things that people thought were impossible for the past 30 years. And for the past 30 years, Zimbabweans, Chad, I forgot it is very impossible to free themselves, but on Tuesday they did it. They finally put a step forward to their freedom. Are we putting our step forward to our freedom, ladies and gentlemen? Mibvunzo nai, Anzina Christopher Augusto. Much respect for this army. They saved their people not to serve a simple egoistic individual of a president. And then zvikanzi munhu aingofunga nezvake akanga nezvenyika akanga asikafunga nezvevanhu vari munyika vanoda kudya vanoda kunwa mvura yakachena. He always thought of himself, just like what Mugabe used to do, fly to Singapore, get a proper medication that led him to reach 99 years. And 95 years, sorry. So that's Zimungwa Tinofarira Nganga Nenobata Mai. Murume Uyu has been the backbone. They're fighting against extremists in this region. The Chad army under this man, Dai Wasipo, Nigeria Chayo, would have been overrun by Boko Haram. Nakari Pakoma, which I don't believe is true. I don't believe this is true. Not true at all. Zvikanzina 𝗭𝗋 yes, there is no democracy in Chad, but he was good in keeping Chad and the region safe. How can you keep Chad and the region safe for 36 years? You become a dictator. Kutonga kunoda just 5-10 years. Unenge watorwa pasi watotonga. Watoratidza kuti uri leader kuti vanhu vanoda here. And the army saved the masses with the barrel of a gun. This has happened in Chad, ladies and gentlemen, where the army saved the masses just by one propaganda. Washington Dumba. I big heads. I don't understand what actually happened. Was he removed by the army or what is the same that happened in Zimbabwe? Here, mwana wacho abaita take over. Unozwa vanhu vachiramba kuti dictatorship. Hakuna baba panoto baba kana vari president vakafa hakuna anotaura kuti mwana anotora ndi vice president. Now look at what happened in Tanzania when Magufuli died. And his vice president automatically assumed office. Ukaona pakunzi mwana ngauya apinde chitoziva kuti yatove a dictatorship. So what happened in parliament? Timbotaura nezva Douglas Mwonzora. Ndine urombo navanhu vakatera Mwonzora vachiti vakutera leader. Mwonzora is never opposition leader. But ipapo Mwonzora is just doing it for his pocket and for his money. He is the eye who destroy MDC. He has destroyed so far everything that was built by Morgan Tsvangirai. And you know, Kupe destroyed what was built by Tsvangirai. Mwonzora destroyed what was built by Tsvangirai. But when they are safeguarding the legacy of Morgan Tsvangirai. So we wonder what was Tsvangirai's legacy. Tsvangirai was democratic. Tsvangirai was democratic. Aita zvido zvevanhu. Aiti kana vasvika pazvinenge zvaoma, Tsvangirai aienda kuvanhu. If you see when it was recalled from parliament, Tsvangirai consulted people of Harare East. Kundozvaita president wenyu, a member of parliament, abuda MDC, a former his own political party, so he cannot remain as a member of the MDC. No, Tsvangirai. And he was always there to consult the people. That is part of a good leader who goes on to consult his people. So the prison formalities, Joanna Mamombe, critically ill and taken to hospital by ambulance. And pakaoma kumana andizivi kuti zviri kumbofamba sei communities mazvimba tirumboona kushamisika nechibage vakomana vezimbabwe. The crop was more attractive when it was green. Ameno zviri kutaurwa nana Nick Mangwana, government spokesperson. Pakaoma kumana hanzi sezvo zuva richipo kudai atireururei ndima yedu ameno zviri kutaurwa na spokesperson weZANU-PF George Charamba. Pakaoma, what a useless leader. He calls himself the opposition leader, yet he's busy helping Mnangagwa to tear up Zimbabwe's constitution, giving the dictator power that will strip citizens of their human rights. This is none other than Douglas Mwonzora. He's a cheap political charlatan that is on the table. What a useless man. Mukoma hopo chingono zvikanzi aiwa mukoma dhaka mazonyanya kuwanza mafufu segonzo ndo amuri kudya ndo amuri kufira naye makutengesa the struggle of the people makuuraya the legacy of Tsvangirai. But ndimaiti you are constitutionalist, you the legacy of Tsvangirai. Was this the legacy of Tsvangirai? Which is no. Hanzi na Peter Musa, same as Nelson Chamisa, who mobilized MDC people to attend the Mugabe's demise for another leader without proper consultation. Munanozi Peter Musa, why can't you remind him, ladies and gentlemen, the demise of Mugabe? Mugabe was removed in November 2017. Chamisa was not the president of MDC. Just to remind these guys, sometimes vanonyora vakakotsira research first. Kuti Vachamisa pakabviswa Mugabe, Vachamisa was not the president with MDC. Munai driver MDC lines Vatsvangirai. Muna pakabviswa Mugabe November 2017. Saka zvakutaura uyu anonzi Peter Musa zvekuti Mwonzora is in it to correct the wrongs that were committed by Morgan Changa and Nelson Chamisa. This is not wrong. How can Mwonzora, who is safeguarding the legacy of President Chamisa, goes against that legacy? But that is the fact he is imposed to the people by ZANU-PF. Mwonzora has been imposed to the people by ZANU-PF. And statement yoga aina zvainoreva mukuru yamanyora. The leader was Morgan Tsvangirai, so Chamisa akwana pap in your narrative. This, which is a true account. Your statement lacked consultation with the facts as well. This is exactly like what I've mentioned, that this guy is writing about Chamisa leading the populace to remove Mugabe, whilst Morgan Tsvangirai was the president. So that she can no consult the truth first and come and tell us zvauri kufunga nayo. And avatombozivi they just kungowawata vanhu veZANU-PF. Zimba rakapenga rinokugarisa mudhishi. So this is Mwonzora, the charlatan, who is surviving on breadcrumbs. Has all doubts cleared now. Vaimboti aiwa vaMwonzora pamwe vachazodai, the doubts have been cleared. The constitution of Zimbabwe has been teared apart by none other than Mwonzora, who led who led members of parliament to vote for this bill that tears the constitution apart. Mwonzora is not just a cheap and a charlatan, but he is a hellish and evil man, Satan in the human form. Come Zimbabweans tonight, monta kundifadza, monta kundinakidza maZimbabweans. And Mwonzora is Satan himself. He's hellish. He's an evil man, Satan in the human form. Hans is not just a charlatan, but he is Satan in the human form. Douglas Mwonzora. Hans Dr. Kupe is so principled in her belief. Hans kwete vana ganya muto dagi. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't really understand when Zimbabweans think that Kupe is principled. She is not principled. Kupe is in parliament today because she was handpicked by Douglas Mwonzora. And these guys, what they did, team won. Saka team yana Kupe na Mwonzora vakaverenga vakaona kuti members of parliament aripo, can they stop this bill to sail through? Vakaona no, it's not possible. Saka they all got paid. So what they did is vanongoti 3 vote against, then the rest we vote for the bill to pass. Those are vakaita ipapa. Apana pekuti hanzi she's principled, she is an accomplice to the tearing of Zimbabwe constitution. Zvatotaura izvi zvine magumo zvichapera. Some people would be held accountable. So what if it's all a front to try and make it seem exactly like what I've been explaining here, to try and make it seem there was some opposition. Don't be thick, don't be thick, Kupe Sano. And they try to look, we can't stop the bill. Then the rest support the bill. But make sure it has a majority that is not questionable. No, they wanted to try to make it real because Kupe is part and parcel of this team that would want to give everything to Emmerson Mnangagwa to make sure that the constitution in Zimbabwe inenge yabvarurwa naye. Akusisina chinchonzi constitution in Zimbabwe. Akusina zvezvemota ndisakanyora constitution. It's no longer a constitution. It's now a ZANU-PF constitution which they amend at will. Saka ndopashata vana veZimbabwe naye. And the reality will catch with them very soon, and he will be done. And he will be alone. And Mwonzora when the reality catches up with him soon. And don't be surprised to hear good Penga. Nama Zimbabweans, as Nemu Apana Erano gonna Kusajitsinga Mkamwa Anzu Duzekuno Meza. Musajitsinga Mkano, Chodu Mwonzora Ajgi. Msadaro kumana Zimbabwe samwana my statements are kubuda panaba ndiye kushatura vana Zimbabwe vaine hasha. It's like time bomb that will soon burst. And those who never ever sell people struggle for your own bread. Unopenga nazo izvozvo hanzi mise chitsinga amwada hanzi mise kunokuda dhodho faka chitsinga kuti ameke sure kuti hanzi ari budi mazimba agumbuka naye. Hanzi open your eyes. 𝗭𝗋𝐶 hanzi pane uyanonzi shumba ndokuka ndo murambo wari kunyora hanzi vari kutaura kuti hanzi Chamisa akatengesa kudhara kuna ED. Baba vandofunga kuona sometimes kunonetsa naye. Hanzi Chamisa akatengesa ndikutira kuda kufunga kuti akatengesa papi. Hanzi what are you backing? Hanzi it doesn't make sense. What you are backing here doesn't make sense at all, because Chamisa always wants to sit with ED for the better of Zimbabweans, because iye yake mari ne life itori bo heavy. And where did Chamisa work to get the money? Politics is a rewarding career indeed. Don't put 100% trust in these politicians. Ameno kuti Zimbabweans vanofunga kuti munhu akaita politics haafanirwi kuita mari mukurarama kwake kana haafanirwi kuita something chinomupa mari. Chamisa's wife is a lawyer, I understand. And Chamisa is a lawyer, I understand. Chamisa has been in parliament for too long, I understand. Saka, you wonder, a minister, a lot of income. And people don't understand. They think we can go to MP, MP Murombo. Zimbabweans, let's wake up. Let's wake up. Anzi Mwonzora is beyond a fool. Zimbabweans shinura wana bukuru. Hanzi inyaya iri kudya mari yeutengezi. Mwonzora uri kudya mari yeutengezi. Hanzi ukasakomenda haubhadharwe here kwenyu military intelligence unonyadzisa bururu. Vakuita kutabvurana na Mwonzora watengesa. Politics of the stomach. Mwonzora's press today was a desperate attempt to clear his name after he was proven beyond doubt that he is now ZANU-PF surrogate, planned to push a one-party state agenda. And in the morning, Mwonzora havasichinei chekuita neopposition politics. Ndosaka mukona vakada wrestle the power kuti ndoita president inini so that he can push for one-party state agenda. It's like China type of politics where the opposition exists but does not have a say in anything. The Communist Party ndoinongoramba ichingohama ichitonga. So this is what ZANU-PF wants. Vana Mwonzora vanenge vari pamapayroll muchishandiswa maZimbabweans kuti tikuenda voterai Mwonzora. How many of you are going to vote for Mwonzora? Because they know where the real MDC lies, MDC alliance. This is why you see, even when ZANU-PF talks, they don't talk about Mwonzora. They don't talk about MDCT. They talk about MDC alliance, which is led by President Nelson Chamisa. Because the Mwonzoras are their surrogates. They pay them to eat. You understand? So, guys, ZANU-PF is 2/3. I don't know, na Poshai, ZANU-PF has got 2/3 majority. They don't need him at all to rewrite the constitution. They really need him. Because what they want is a great number. They would, this bill, even the opposition agreed with it. So people should understand the dynamics here. One dog barking can scare a pride of lions. Ndo chokwadi chikutaurwa naMukoma wind. Hanzi naMukoma windows. Imbwa imwe chete ikahukura inogona kumhanyisa kana kutyisidzira a pride of shumba. Saka what happens is vachamisa vega kungosimuka kutaura hanzi kuna geda kwemene muZimbabwe. Hanzi unless men are the principals who signed off on a constitution that allowed for changes without referendum, and of the 5 years only consulted the populace for a year and spent the remainder giving each other concessional not to bruise each other's egos. The flow was established in 2013. Hanzi kuenda kumaGalatia 6 verse 7 inoti, do not be deceived and deluded and misled. God will not allow himself to be sneered at, scorned, disdained, or mocked. He inevitably deludes himself who attempts to delude God. For whatever a man sows, that and that only is what he will reap. As Mwonzora, verenga Galatia 6 inotaura iyo kuti chawakarima ndo chauchakohwa naye. Ndozvitaurwa panapa. Democrats, comrade parliament agreed to amend the constitution full stop. Amazano vakutsigira hanzi parliament kana yabvumirana kuti yakuamenda constitution zvatomira izvozvo, hakusina majority ichazopinda ipapo kuzotaura kuti izvi hazviite. Democracy without principles is useless. Hanzi varida kutsemurana naye. Saka anyway, I'm not going to talk much about this, but Douglas kafesi kake kanenge kembudzi akafitwa nehunu wake zvikanzi ane fesi inenge mbudzi. Hanzi kana vamutarisa unofuara anyati me hanzi retarded and retrogressive, a shame puppet Mwonzora. Hanzi me abakambonzwa here hanzi muswe wombudzi unenge hanzi muswe unofanira kuvhara backside. But kana usingakwanisa kuvhara backside wombudzi hauvhari manje, unenge wakadai so riri boge chero chaya chinenge chiriwa backside yacho. Zvikanzi kana kane me hapana chinovhara muswe wombudzi haugoni kudai, unoramba udai uchingodai so chete, but unenge zvese zvinenge zviri pachena naye. Zvikanzi Douglas uri mbudzi naye, ndozvikutaurwa panapa. Useless men indeed. It's a good thing vakabva kuna chamisadai izvozvi zvakamukomberedza izvi. Makaita zvenyu Mwari kutionesa pachiri pedyo. Saka svika 2023. Come 2023, victory for President Nelson Chamisa. Every struggle has got its sellouts. Zimbabweans understand. Ndozvitaurwa pano naMwonzora zvikanzi machinda. Struggle yese ine hondo dzayo, ine vatengesi vanenge varimo. Zvikanzi this is just a useless man. As you do not means your words dead hope. Baba vabeta vanonyadzisa. Zvikanzi hanzi beta wacho kanzwa achitaura unobva watoti anoda lollipop na Mazimba met the chap in Marange over the weekend. I overheard locals calling him a shameful names. Felt pity for him. Zvikanzi Mwonzora akaenda kubocha paweekend apa achitendera kubocha. Zvikanzi vakamutarisa vanhu vekubocha, mabocha achitaura kanzi munhu tomunzwira tsitsi, tinomunyarira naye zvakaoma. Is a minor and is a mirror image of Muzoreo. Zvikanzi ukanzwa zvaitaurwa zvaMuzoreo nguva dzeo ukatarisa Mwonzora watopedza watoona UANC yakazara kuti makumairi. Hanzi zano yagona kuzviita yoga kusiyana naMwonzora adi amazano ari kudhifenda. Hanzi unenge wakangomudhererawo, haana kudhererwa, asi kuti hunhu hwako ukaratidza vanhu hunhu usingaite, vanhu vanokutata. People tata you. What's happening in America today? A policeman shot and killed a black woman before the judgment. Chauvin. Pakaibanzis Russia masses more than pakuita hondo naye kuUkraine. Russia ends 100,000 troops border Ukraine. I'm proud the committee moved by my bipartisan legislation in support of the Ukrainian people. Americans supporting the Ukrainian people. Russia moving large numbers of soldiers to Ukraine. This could spark a third world war. Guys, because America never supported Ukraine. Russia, irikuendesa mauto ayo border re-Ukraine kuda kunokonzera hondo. Saka zvinogona kusimudza third world war nayo. Makore acho akufamba, second world war yapera. Saka third world war inevitable with what is happening in Ukraine today. Americans have said they are not going to let Ukraine being attacked. Vakatarisa nayo zvakaoma the story of the Dinde community whose way of life is facing disruption from the Chinese. China anza apinda auya kuipa kudinde. Saka, ladies and gentlemen, pakaoma. Yesterday, Douglas Mwonzora voted with ZANU-PF to amend the constitution in favor of the junta. To consolidate the power for the judiciary, we will be taking orders from Emmerson Mnangagwa. Yesterday was a sad day for Zimbabwe. Sad day indeed for the people of Zimbabwe when the opposition side with the ruling part to make sure that the majority are oppressed. But the sister, you supported this man all the way when you called him to order. Zimbabweans called Douglas Mwonzora to order, but certain people, they were backing him. Wana Matemandada were campaigning for him. Wana Mugwadi were campaigning for him. Open your eyes and see. Mugwadi cannot campaign for an MDC person. He actually one party state. So people were campaigning for Douglas Mwonzora. ZANU-PF were openly campaigning for Douglas Mwonzora. The same way, Yavaya Ataka nayo wende, show me where I supported Mwonzora. Next, he will be kicked out by the same and he will have no legal avenue to come back because all the judges will be ZANU-PF. Even if all opposition members had boycotted or voted against in the amendment, would have sailed through. Baba vanonyepa. Pakamboitika mu parliament, makamboitika kunzi kamuvoterwe the speaker of parliament. ZANU-PF itaura ine 2/3 majority. Chichakaitika. And ZANU-PF lost. MDC won the speaker of parliament. And Love Momoe became the speaker of parliament. Pakatika wichand ipo pa kuda votera vanhu MDC ndiani vekuzanu. Saka some people vari kungoona ma members of parliament kunge vezanu, but vanenge vachiona reality kumberi. Mitemo yatoda kusai, we are not going to live forever. Tikadyiwa mitemo ichatisandukira. You understand? So ZANU-PF people, some ZANU-PF people, they think it is equivalent to Zimbabwe. Vanhu vachitaura kuti vakuvaudza kuti hakuna zvakadaro. ZANU-PF vachazoshamisika vakuona one propellant will save the rest of the masses. Zimbabwe is charting its own destination. Pakaipa economic sanctions. Reason why we should encourage people to vote in numbers to increase the opposition representation in parliament. Zvikanzi maZimbabweans havadi kuvota, vanhu vari contented with their poverty. They don't want to vote to increase the number of their members of parliament in parliament. They sit home, they don't go vote, but varuda upenyu hwakanaka. Zvikanzi upenyu hwakanaka auye kana uri dormant. Nai, Pakaibanz, without respect for the constitution, we are saddled with a regime that will do as it wishes. The shades of violence, tyranny and repression we have seen in years after the coup will become our daily bread. Without the rule of law and constitutionalism, Zimbabwe is closed for freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, Douglas Mwonzora has assisted ZANU-PF to close Zimbabwe for freedom. Zimbabwe is not freedom. Zvikanzi Professor Jonathan Moyo is this man. I don't like him. I don't know Mama Zimba, but personally, I don't like this man. I don't like him. I hate him with passion. This is Professor Jonathan Moyo. The Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill 2 fast tracked with unconstitutional amendments by a man who's arguing. If you really care about the constitution and democracy in Zimbabwe, read this review of the tragedy in parliament. Constitution Amendment 12021. A fast tracking of the bill, the hasty with which the bill is being rushed through Parliament is almost indecent. It is certainly inappropriate for a bill that will amend the Constitution. The Constitution is the country's supreme law. So rushed as the process been, that members were given no proper notice of the ministers' amendments, and some additional amendments were made to the bill that were not notified in the day's order paper. One member pointed out that she had not been allowed time to give proper notice of the amendments she proposed. Bad draft. The second point to make in that the minister's amendments were ineptly drafted, perhaps because they were done in haste and it is not always clear what the minister was trying to achieve by them. The notice of amendments, attachment showing minister's amendments, contained two cryptic comments in bold type which may be constituted proposed amendments or may simply have been drafting notes that were never deleted. As for the amendments that were not notified in the order paper, they were never drafted at all before they were agreed to and inserted in the bill. All this will make it very difficult for the staff of Parliament to work out what amendments were actually made to the bill, and there must be some doubt as to whether the votes and the proceedings of 15th April attachment, which purports to record the proceedings of the bill's committee stage, is completely accurate. Amendments which the order paper says were made to the bill, we shall deal with the fundamental question which they raise, namely, can Parliament change a constitutional amendment bill? The conclusion to this is, as we have seen, most of the changes which the National Assembly made to the bill in its committee stage materially alter clauses of the original bill or added new clauses which were never in the original bill. Hence, they are unconstitutional because they were made without going through the procedure laid down in Section 328 of the Constitution. As a result, the clauses which have been changed and the clauses which have been added to the bill have not been properly passed by Parliament. This will remain so no matter how many members vote for the bill in its final reading today. There is a moral to this. If you must amend the Constitution, do it properly. Consider the wisdom of the amendments carefully. Think them through. Draft them accurately so their meaning and effect are clear. Ensure that the public has a full opportunity to discuss them and show proper respect for the Constitution and for parliamentary procedures. This is what has been voted by Douglas Mwonzora. Things that are not proper, things that were not properly put to legislation, things that the Zimbabweans never discussed. The amendment of Constitution must be done by the majority of parliamentarians and it must be known by the people of Zimbabwe. So ZANU-PF parliamentarians are actually taking too long to pass bills that have a bearing on the well-being of our country. The mandate they were given obliges them to ensure that the wishes of Zimbabweans are respected. And Douglas Mwonzora and Emmerson Mnangagwa did not respect the wish of the people. Mnangagwa is a complete idiot, some people are surrounded by most foolish cabinet has ever had. You know, this is like, if you look at all the years Zimbabwe has been under Robert Mugabe, parliament ya Mugabe since 1980, ainabva yamboita mahumbwe atiri kuona ari kuitwa muparliament yaEmmerson Mnangagwa. Ndopamunoona lack of leadership. as I discussed yesterday. Lack of leadership, lack of power, and lack of knowledge in politics is what we are witnessing today. A circus of a parliament like the one we have today in Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, I think for today I'm done. So for the next 3 days, I'll be doing live on YouTube channel. I won't be doing any live on Facebook. So for today, enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. And when you shepherd Judah, I start about Mwonzora. With amendment actually assign even on a parliament don't even understand. It's not clear. It's something that is and you understand what I mean. So good night for today. Enjoy the rest of the day when you shepherd Judah. Zaya woman.